that we've got the new moon in Cancer, and that being our emotions, the sign of Cancer rules our house, our home, our heart, what we feel, our emotions. And so think that the new moon being in Cancer can bring up some emotions around our family of origin, the family that we've created, having conversations, and perhaps the uncomfortable conversations that we've kind of left on the back burner need to come up, need to be addressed. There's also the 4 planets that we've got at 4 degrees, and think about the number 4 representing foundation, right? So for anything that you're building now, the number 4 is reminding you to create a strong foundation as you're building upon what this is, and having that be very intentionally planned so that you are putting together something that has structure or has this foundation that will make it a sturdy, stable creation, right? So if you're building a business, then you can take this energy and set the intentions that you want it to have a strong foundation. If this is something happening around your family, then you want also to have very transparent, very clean conversations to create a strong foundation, right? Foundations are built on good communication. Foundations are also being very transparent and being in the energy of integrity. So I'm going to advise you all to take this opportunity as we have these 4 planets, this beautiful cradle of these 4 outer planets in the number 4, because it's at the 4 degrees and there's actually 4 planets, is where are you building something and you want to make sure that you have the best foundation or a strong foundation around that. Now, on another note, we also have Jupiter in Leo, and the energy of Leo, which is the sun, is also our heart, right? So how I see the energy of Leo, the sun, is the portal of our heart. What are we putting out? What are we sharing with others? What are we holding back? That the sun is shining bright over us and reminding us, no, don't keep those emotions inside. Share those, speak about that. Don't hold back. The other thing that I know that is happening or has happened is that we have Neptune in retrograde, and the planet Neptune is our illusions, right? All of the fairy tales, all of the fantasies that we tell ourselves, oh, that person's really good or that person's very nice. Meanwhile, you know that they're not being so nice or they're not being so good, but you make up these stories around people, and we all do this. And why this is so important is because Neptune being in retrograde in the planet, in the sign of Aries, Aries rules action. Is that you've got to take action in what is being visible, what is being shown up to you. And so all of these different planetary transits that are always, I always say that the planets are here to help us, they're here to advise us, they're here to share with us so that we can continue to have a beautiful life and learn, right? We've got to learn so that we can continue to expand and we can continue to grow and elevate ourselves. The reason why I feel all of this is so important to share with you today is because it's giving us an opportunity to see what's actually in our field, right? In our energetic field, what brings down our vibration, what kind of conversations we could feel are very uncomfortable. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to address that person. Yet the planets are advising us that this is the best time to do that because it will help us go through and come out on the other side. Now we also have Mercury in retrograde until the 23rd of July, until we leave Cancer season and we actually go into Leo season. And so Mercury retrograde is also going to be that, right? It's all about communication. It's also about communicating through internet, through our cell phones, through our electronics. And so there could be an interference, a disruption, something that gets misconstrued, something that you're trying to communicate in a certain way and the person heard something completely different than what you said or how you said it. So when we have the guidance of the planets helping us through what is going on in our life, it just makes it easier for us to understand, oh, that's what it is. So Mercury is in retrograde, or oh, that's why I'm seeing that about that person, is because Neptune is now in retrograde and it's in Aries, and it's all about taking action, and it's all about having clear conversations. It's about clarity. And so I'm bringing this awareness also because there's so much that we've had going on in the last year, because just now Jupiter going into Leo, Jupiter hasn't been in Leo for 12 years, since 2014, is also you kind of recognizing some of the patterns of what happened back in 2014 for you. And you might be seeing those show up again, of course, different. But it's there could be a cycle or a pattern that you are going through, or you will be going through in the next year, that is also going to be showing up for you to fix it or clear it up or understand or have the awareness around it. And maybe you didn't do anything about it, in 2014, and it's showing up again different. Now, the other aspect of that is that if Jupiter is now in Leo, it's because it left Cancer, and it's been in Cancer for the past year. So Jupiter's been in Cancer for the past year, and so think about everything that you've had to go through around your family, right? All of the topics around family of origin, your mom, your dad, your siblings, your extended family, and then the family that you created for yourself. If you're a mom or a dad and you created your own family, like what you've established within your family that you learned possibly how to communicate. We're going back to the communication aspect, what you learned or how you learned to communicate in your own family of origin that you've now taken into the family that you've created. But then how are you doing it different? Are you doing it different? Are you repeating the same patterns? Are there things that maybe you don't want to bring into your new family, the family that you have built and that you are creating, and that you want to be better at? Maybe the communication style wasn't so good in your own family of origin, and you're finding yourself saying the same things, acting the same way, maybe that your parents were with you, or how your parents were with you, or how they spoke with you or spoke to you. And so this is such a beautiful opportunity that we get to see what we learned from our family of origin and how we want to bring some of those into our own family, but then how we also want to be different from our own family, and what worked and works, and then what we want to do better and different. So like I said earlier, what I love about following the planets and understanding the numerology is because it helps us on our day-to-day to have better idea, better focus, better awareness of what is happening in the planets and what are the numbers telling us, so that we can always have better experiences and be able to do that, right? Be able to use the signs of the numerology, the signs of the planets, to also create the life of our dreams, to be able to understand that when we have planets like Uranus that haven't been in Gemini, hasn't happened for 84 years. And so for the last 7 years, Uranus has been in Taurus, which is Earth. And Uranus is, it's a big planet. It's expect the unexpected. So think about the surprises. But when it's stuck in a planet, when it's stuck in a sign like Taurus, so it's kind of like just recycling the Earth, right? It's just stuck. And think about your last 7 years where Uranus was in Taurus, and the difference that you're going to feel now that Uranus is in air, because Uranus is in the sign of Gemini. And so think that Gemini is both, it's like the right brain, left brain, it's the light and the shadow. And so it's really helping us now to begin to live a life of fulfillment, but fulfilling our dreams, right? Because it's our mind, it's our brain, it's our thoughts, it's our dreams. And so that's also happening. And so if we were to go into the numerology aspect of this, 2026, when you add 2 plus 2 plus 6, you get the number 10. And in numerology, you always reduce it to a single digit. So 1 plus 0 is 1. So we left 2025, 2 plus 2 plus 5 is a 9, right? So we left a 9-year. We left that last 9-year cycle in 2025. So a lot of endings, a lot of terminations. Maybe you're not working that job anymore. You're not even in that career anymore. Maybe a divorce, maybe maybe a loved one passed away. And so 2025 was a year of endings. And now we've stepped into this new beginning, this 1 year. And so think about everything that I'm sharing, including the fact that we're in a 1 year. How many of us are doing something new, brand new relationships, brand new business model, brand new platform. I'm back on YouTube. So for me, it was important to step into going back into my YouTube channel and getting some of these videos out. I was doing this for a while, 6, 7, 8 years ago, and I'm back, right? So even for me, stepping into doing the family office business and really structuring this whole platform on dynamics and dynasties for families. And so it really took what I used to do as a family therapist, as a family coach, as an executive coach in business, kind of combined everything, and here I am in the world of finance. And elevated myself to step into doing the family work different with family offices who are looking for generational wealth and how to leave a legacy behind for their family. So just giving you guys an example of how that is showing up or how it showed up for me so that you can begin to see, okay, where is this one? Where is this new beginning happening for you? How are you using all of these planetary transits, and how are you feeling the energy around you so that you can continue to elevate yourself to this higher frequency? And what I mean by a higher frequency is things that bring you positivity, that make you feel good, that help you to feel elevated. How are you bringing a higher frequency to the people around you, right? By the words that you're speaking, by elevating them, rather than looking at that energy of judgment, which for a long time, that was the program. It's like everybody is just criticizing everybody. Everybody is just in that low vibration of, I can compete and be better than you, or somehow there's something wrong with you and there's not something wrong with me, or going a step further and just believing that we were not enough. I feel that this year has really catapulted us to experiencing life from a higher, definitely from a higher realm, but from a frequency that brings us so much more goodness and wanting to be more in that energy and expression of gladness and peace and being sovereign. And it's okay to be my authentic self, because that's part of self-love. It's part of how do I elevate myself is by increasing the love that I have for myself. And the higher I can, and the higher energy, frequency, and vibration that I can hold for myself is also the light, right, in my aura, in our auric field that we get to share with others. So the more we stay in this light, not only light, is it light, it feels light, but in this light energy, the more we can share from that place and be that energy for those people around us. So people are gonna feel the density more intentionally. I feel that we're coming into this space that rather than thinking about things all the time, we're also going more into our hearts and we are feeling more into things. So we will have a very clear definition of what feels good and what doesn't feel good, what relationships help elevate us and we want to be around that person, or we want to be in that frequency, or we want to have those activities, and then the ones that are just just doesn't feel good anymore to be in that environment. And it's interesting because I do hear and feel that a lot of this has to do with substances. So I know a lot of people that used to be very inclined to drinking a lot or over drinking, or even smoking weed, or more into the drugs or the mushrooms or psychedelics. I know that there's a lot of people that have been experimenting in the last, I want to say the last 7-year cycle. And I feel that a lot of people are they just want to be clean. They just want to live a more sovereign life, and really taking on this, because there's so much going on outside of us in the news, social media, so many different things happening, that I feel like what is really going on is that we just want to go within. We just want to bring in our family, or we want to be closer to our family, or we want to generate a better relationship with our family, and kind of come together with people who are aligned with us, people who think like us, feel like us. Also, we're kind of staying away from the social media, or staying away from the negative news, or staying away from the substances, so that we are having a more present conversation, so that we are more present with each other, more present with our kids, grandchildren. And I feel like that's really where the world is turning, is to have this beautiful experience we call life from a more clean, clear, harmonious place. So that's just what I have for you guys today. That's what was coming in through my own channel, through my own meditations. I do, and I will continue to always encourage you to have times and moments of meditation, journal, write things down on a piece of paper. And why that's so important, even especially because now we have so many planets in the air signs. We've got Pluto in Aquarius, which is an air sign. We have Uranus, like I mentioned, in Gemini, which is an air sign. Is that we want to write things down. We want things to become tangible, rather than it all just, being in our mind, and we forget, right? And we didn't write it down, or, maybe we want to put it on our phone. But I always love the pen and paper, or the pad, and just write things down. And if it's something that you're releasing and you want to let go of, I would definitely encourage you to burn it after you've written it down, because it's like writing something on a piece of paper that you've been carrying within yourself, within your mind, within your heart. And you just, when you burn it, it just transmutes it. It makes it ashes, right? And just that's it. I don't need to hold this thought around anymore in my journal or in my pad. So that's another way of releasing whatever you feel those emotions are, that, no, I'm just done with feeling this way. And I want to replenish, and I want to replace that feeling and that thought with something that brings me joy, right? Because ultimately, I think that's what we're all looking for, is to live a life of abundance, peace, joy, laughter. And at the end of the day, guess what? That's what makes your body feel healthy and clean. So I'll leave you guys all with that today. I will be back with another message as soon as anything else comes in. I promise I will share. Thank you again for listening, and thank you very much for tuning in. See you soon. Thank you.